line with New York State schools for reducing incidences of stray animals. And of course, there are exemptions for that if there's medical issues or for show animals. And those are really the substantive issues. Is there any questions? That's it.
Does anybody wish to be heard on that public hearing in the audience? No? Thank you very much. I move to close the hearing.
Second.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Okay, and the correspondence. Number 1, Barella's Farm Stand Fall Festival, second reading. Number 2, Chavez Lubavitch Walk, first reading. 3 is Celebrate St. James Historic Pet Parade, first reading. 4 is Comac High School Homecoming Parade, first reading. 5 is Community Association of Greater St. James Car Shows, first reading. 6, Smithtown High School East Homecoming Parade, third reading. 7 is Hot Hog Schools Homecoming Parade, third reading. Number 8 is, and 9 are Building Department reports for May of 2018 and June of 2018.
Does anybody wish to be heard on any of those special events? Thank you.
Okay, next we have advertised for public hearing. The first one is the town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to be held at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, August 14th at the Smithtown Town Hall to conduct a public hearing pursuant to New York State eminent domain procedure law concerning the town's acquisition of certain vacant real property located at Pulaski Road in Kings Park, reputedly owned by Matthew and Margaret Poley for municipal parking purposes. Number 2 is the town board authorizes the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to be held at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, August 14th at the Smithtown Town Hall to consider the town's entry onto certain real property located at 67 Rumford Road in Kings Park for the purpose of removing the large amount of rubbish, debris, and other refuse, overgrown grass and weeds, as well as damaged siding and soffits of the structure, all in violation of Chapter 221 of the Town Code. Number 3, the town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to be held at the Smithtown Town Hall on Tuesday, August 14th, 2018 at 2 p.m. to consider amendments to Chapter 215 of the Code of the Town of Smithtown entitled Peddling and Soliciting. Number 4 is the town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to be held at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, August 14th, to consider the town's entry onto certain real property located at 34 Whitney Gate in Smithtown for the purpose of removing the large amount of rubbish, debris, and other refuse, overgrown grass and weeds, dangerous tree limbs, as well as remediating the holes in the exterior of the house that's on the property, all in violation of Chapter 221 of the Town Code.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
The town board, after due study and deliberation of the subject record, to issue a secret negative declaration determination of non-significance in the following matters for reasons stated in a memorandum on the dates indicated. Number 1 is an application for site plan approval by Craig Padover, Malmore Associates, 410 Motor Parkway. Number 2 is the matter of an application for site plan approval by 1000 Wisconsin LLC for Route 347 and South Hillside Avenue. Number 3 is in the matter of the application for site plan approval by Steel Forest LLC at the east side of Comac Road, south of Delaware Avenue. Number 4, in the matter of marine law permit application by X. Christopher Damianos. Number 5, the matter of the application for site plan approval by J. Nazaro Partnership, LP, for Nichols Road, and the corner of Nichols Road and Smithtown Boulevard. Number 6 is the matter of application for site plan approval by TDG Comac LLC. That's located on the south side of Jericho Turnpike, east of Mayfair Terrace. Number 7, the matter of proposed Pulaski Road municipal parking lot on the north side of Pulaski Road.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Warehouse.
Yes.
Next is the town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for the following bids to be returned to Town Hall at 99 West Main Street at 11 a.m. on the dates indicated. Number 1 is bid 18-064, conventional chassis tractor truck. Number 2, bid number 18-67, supply polyethylene mulch bags. Number 3, bid 18-065, rubbish and refuse removal.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Warehouse.
Yes.
The town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for the following requests for proposals to be returned to the town of Smithtown Purchasing Department at 65 Maple Avenue until 4 p.m. on the dates indicated. It's an RFP number 18-69, request for proposals to assume day-to-day operation of the Smithtown Animal Shelter and Adoption Center.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
No.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Warehouse.
Yes.
The town board to award the following bids and to authorize the purchase of associated goods and services. Number 1 is bid 18-53, supply bid for lumber and building materials to East Iceland Lumber.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Warehouse.
Yes.
The town board to award the following request for proposal per opening bids indicated. It's an RFP 18-39 for design services for Flynn Memorial Park to RDA Landscape Architecture.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Warehouse.
Yes.
Next is the town board to approve the following. The town board minutes dated June 12th, 2018. Number 2, copier lease for 65 Maple Avenue from Toshiba Business Solutions. 3, adoption of local law number 3-2018, chapter 248, to amend the town code of the town of Smithtown entitled Subdivision of Land. 4, Robert J. Murphy, Superintendent of Highways, to enter into an agreement with the state of New York for purposes of snow removal. Number 5, retain the services of Brown and Altman LLP. 6, town board to adopt amendments to chapter 248, that's subdivision of land of the town code regarding cluster subdivisions. Number 7, extension of agreement with Wayron LFG Services for professional services related to landfill gas monitoring and reporting for various town facilities. 8, extension of bid 17-60 for tree services with Reliable Tree Service. 9, ratification and renewal of medical professional liability insurance policy with Admiral Insurance Company for the Horizons Department. 10, amendment to the collective bargaining agreement with the Smithtown Administrative Guild concerning the position of Town Planning Director. Number 11, Superintendent of Highways Robert Murphy to execute Amendment B of the Municipal Snow and Ice Agreement between the State Department of Transportation and the Town of Smithtown. 12, amendment to the collective bargaining agreement with the Smithtown Administrators Guild concerning the position of Town Sanitation Supervisor. 13, adoption of amended Town of Smithtown Media Relations Policy and procedures to address mailings by town departments. 14, adoption of standard operating procedure for grant applications and awards. 15, extension of RFP 16-50 for maintenance and repair of physical systems agreements with Miller Environmental Group, EnviroTrack Ltd., Benson Contracting, and Wayron LFG Services. 16, certification of assessment of costs incurred by the town in the amount of $3,249.96 to be levied against Federal National Mortgage Association, owner of the property located at 401 West Main Street. 17, the town board hereby declares certain real property located at 34 Whitney Gate in Smithtown, said property reputedly owned by Bruce and Bente Schmidt in violation of Chapter 221 of the Code of the Town of Smithtown, and further determines that since the reputed owners have failed to remediate said violations after 72 hours notice of same, the town board hereby demands that the property owners remove all violations thereat pursuant to the attached notice. 18, the rejection of all bids received June 28th in connection with bid 18-61 for refuse remediation for private properties. 19, agreement with New York State and related documentation regarding municipal waste reduction and recycling project grants for MSF equipment. Number 20, the town board hereby declares certain real property located at 67 Rumford Road in Kings Park, reputedly owned by the Bank of New York Mellon in violation of Chapter 221 of the Code of the Town of Smithtown, and further determines that since the reputed owner has failed to remediate said violations after 72 hours notice of same, the town board hereby demands that the property owner remove all violations thereat pursuant to the attached notice. 21, to find that the activity proposed by ex Christopher Damianos in the marine law permit application located in Stony Brook Harbor does not violate the provisions of Section 13-14 of the Code of the Town of Smithtown, and to approve the application subject to the conditions as recommended in a memorandum dated June 29th by the Environmental Protection Director. 22, authorize the town board to submit an application for $135,000 in grant funding, New York State Consolidated Funding application, and to authorize a 20% match contribution in the amount of up to $45,000. 23, the town board to authorize the town attorney to enter into a stipulation of settlement in lieu of commencing a Section 75 proceeding against an employee in the Public Safety Department, Town of Smithtown Animal Shelter. 24, New York State DEC personnel to conduct wildlife surveys on town property known as Bow Drive Marsh and Hunts Pond. 25, purchase of equipment and services for audiovisual system improvements for town boardroom and senior citizen center from Adwar Video. 26, internal transfer of assets to authorize the MSF to transfer to the Parks Department. Number 27, amendment to the 2018 Highway Road Program.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Warehouse.
Yes.
Next is LWRP. Number 1, the town board to issue a written consistency determination pursuant to Chapter 151 of the Town Code that application 2018-13 is consistent with the LWRP, as stated in the June 27, 2018 memorandum. Number 2, the town board to issue a written consistency determination pursuant to Chapter 151 of the Town Code for application 2018-11, which is also consistent with the conditions to the LWRP as stated in a memorandum dated July 11, 2018. And number 3 is also the town board to issue a written consistency determination pursuant to Chapter 151 of the Town Code. That application is 2018-12, consistent with the LWRP, subject to conditions as stated in the July 13, 2018 memorandum.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Warehouse.
Yes.
Town Board to authorize the town clerk to issue the following permits. One is to the Smithtown High School East for their annual homecoming parade. And number two is the permit, issue the permit to the Hop Hog School District for their annual homecoming parade.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Rohan.
Yes.
The next is the town board to authorize the acceptance of the following. Number one is the growth life bond in the amount of $5,900 together with a Chase Bank check in the amount of $1,000 posted to guarantee landscaping and planting of 23 street trees. Number two is a donation to the Senior Center Department from the Oakfield Club in memory of Barry McManus in the amount of $60. Number three is escrow in the amount of $2,000 from the Luxury Auto of Smithtown, also known as Audi of Smithtown, posted to guarantee on-site improvements. Number four is escrow in the amount of $11,000 from E.W. Howell Company, posted to guarantee on-site improvements.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Rohan.
Yes.
Next is the town board to authorize the comptroller to execute the following. Number 1 through 22, transfers and increases as per the printed agenda.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Rohan.
Yes.
The town board to authorize the supervisor to execute the following on a form approved by the town attorney. One is extension of agreements for 1 year to August 13th, 2019 for use of Edward Mancusi Fire Training Center by fire districts in the village of Nissaquag. 2, intermunicipal agreement with the Kings Park School District regarding use of the town of Smithtown non-residential solid waste disposal capacity generation fee system. Number 3, amendment of agreement with L.K. McLean Associates. Number 4, intermunicipal cooperation agreement between the town of Smithtown and the villages of Smith, and the fire district, St. James Fire District and Wisconsin Fire District for shared records management services. 5, electronic medical records maintenance and support for a period of 1 year in the amount of $9,300 with Celerity LLC. Number 6, electronic medical records additional licenses for maintenance and support in the amount of $2,258.33 as per agreement with Celerity LLC. Number 7, agreement to extend the services of Nelson and Pope as design consultants for the emergency vehicle preemption of traffic signals in the town of Smithtown federal grant project. Number 8, consulting services agreement with Miguel Calamano, MD, for services of medical director for Horizons Counseling and Education Center. Number 9, agreement with Jefferson Solutions to prepare actuarial valuations. Number 10, agreement with town employees permitting the voluntary transfer of vacation and/or sick time to a certain employee in the highway department. Number 11, agreement with Pamela Kisunam, nurse practitioner, to provide services to the town as a nurse practitioner on staff for Horizons Counseling and Education Center. Number 12, agreement with Candoris as approved Dell reseller to provide data center infrastructure, sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted, infrastructure upgrades for the town. Number 13, amendment of agreement with L.K. McLean Associates to provide additional professional services for technical support, advisement, and review of various federal, state, and local grant programs.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Rohan.
Yes.
Next is the town board to approve settlement in the following matters per recommendation of the town attorney. Number one, Gene Murphy versus the town of Smithtown, $950. Two is Richard Romano, versus the town of Smithtown in the amount of $1,000. Number three is Lorinda Kuna versus the town of Smithtown in the amount of $1,119.12.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareham.
Yes.
The town board to authorize the release of the following, 1 through 3, as per the agenda.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareham.
Yes.
And then, under personnel, the town board to approve the following personnel matters. Number one is seasonal appointments and reappointments in the recreation department. Two, seasonal and salary changes for various positions in the Department of Parks. Number three, seasonal appointments in the Department of Parks. Number four is promotion of Peter Hans to the position of Provisional Town Planning Director. Number five, full-time appointment of Neil Sheenan to the position of Sanitation Supervisor. Number six, seasonal appointments and reappointments in the Recreation Department. Number seven is seasonal appointments to various positions in the Parks Department. Number eight is the title and salary change for Kathleen Scher in the Department of Public Safety. Number nine, full-time provisional appointment of John Gonzalez in the Department of Public Safety. 10, full-time appointment of Angela Hardina in the Recreation Department. 11 is a change of title for Lauren Connell in Horizons Department. 12, season appointment of Anna Flynn as a lifeguard. Number 13, salary change for Shannon Gorich in the Recreation Department.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareham.
Yes.
And the town board to authorize the following amendment to the Uniform Traffic Code and authorize the Traffic Safety Department to install and maintain the necessary signs. It is Schedule J, is to add on Glenview Avenue West, no parking at all times.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareham.
Yes.
And then I have four additional
Read-ons.
read-ons. One is a seasonal appointment for Brian Farrell as an intern in the Office of the Supervisor.
We'll do them all together, Supervisor.
We can, yeah.
These three?
Yeah.
Town board to submit applications authorizing the supervisor to sign a New York State Consolidated Funding application for various reasons. Each one?
Yeah.
One is the application for Highway Services Consolidation Phase 2 project. The other one is Cordwood Path Stormwater Management and Erosion Control Plan, and St. James Visioning Study.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella,
Yes.
Councilman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareham.
Yes. Before we go to site plan review, Mr. Hans, on behalf of myself and the board, we'd like to congratulate you on being appointed as our town planning director. Congratulations.
I was better prepared. I just want to thank the board for all their support. It's been a great community. Grew up here. My family lives here. You guys have been nothing but supportive. I know we're going to have our disagreements at times, but you know I'm on the same page for the most part. I just want to do what's best for this community. I'll get the boy over there in the scout uniform, and that was me the first time I was ever in this room working with my citizenship in the community merit badge. Still involved. I was up at Yahoo all weekend with my son. So hang in there, and thank you everybody for your support.
Hey, Jeff.
Thank you, Peter. You'll do a good job. Okay, we'll move to Board of Site Plan.
Minutes approval for the site plan review dated June 12th, 2018. That's number one. Number two, conditionally approved site plan for J. Nazaro for a change of use from bank to convenience store on the southeast corner of Smithown Boulevard and Nichols Road in Esconset. Number three is conditionally approved site plan for 410 Motor Parkway for the proposed demolition of an existing industrial building and construction of a new 4-story mixed-use building, the northeast corner of Vanderbilt Motor Parkway and Kennedy Drive in Hop Hog. Number four, conditionally approved site plan for Steel Forest LLC, parking expansion for the proposed 234 store parking expansion on the south side of the property. What is that, east
East
side of Comac Road, south of Delaware Avenue. And number five, conditionally approved site plan for 1000 Esconset LLC for the proposed outdoor storage / display and site work for motor vehicle showroom. On the west side of Smithtown, 347, south of Middle Country Road in Esconset.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Waring.
Yes. Okay, we will now move to the public portion of our agenda for this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, be mindful that the 3-minute rule will be strictly enforced as a matter of fairness to everyone here. Public participation is subject to the rules of decorum, which you all have signed on your speaker cards, and that is as per Town Code Section 76.7. The public portion is for town-related matters only. Any unsubstantiated, unverified, or material false information will be interrupted. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Peter Hansen.
Good afternoon, Town Supervisor, Council members. This is just an update on the safety issues concerning the corner of Old Nichols Road and County Road 16, also known as Smithtown Boulevard. Just a brief review, AERP did a walkability study there well prior to the announcement of a 7-Eleven going into that location, and the study pretty much proved that crossing that street in any direction was really very, very dangerous. That goes from all age groups. I found out recently that there is a nationwide program called Vision Zero, and its primary goal is to enhance pedestrian safety, not only in cities, but in suburban areas as well. So we'd like, again, to emphasize the importance of walk, don't walk, traffic signals to go into that corner prior to the opening of the 7-Eleven location. Right now, we seem to have a couple of silos. We have a town silo, and the town has been very, very supportive of our efforts. Then we have a county silo, and we've been told over and over again that it's the county's responsibility to put in those traffic signals. So we have gone to the county. We've spoken to individuals in Executive Ballone's office. They promised to have a meeting with us. I have also personally been in contact with Legislator Kennedy. She also is going to try her best to get the funding. Now, I know there is politics involved. Reading Newsday, there are bond issues, putting projects together or to treat them separately. That apparently, according to quotes from Ballone, that the issues are being resolved. So we're hoping that the county will allocate the necessary funds. In case that doesn't happen in time, we're asking, and this is out of the box, perhaps the town can put in those traffic signals. They do in other locations, and then bill the county. Or number two, again, out of the box, have the town lend the county the money, put the traffic signals in, and then everybody's happy. We have a safe crossing area at a very, very congested site. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hanson.
Phyllis Hart.
Thank you, board members. Phyllis Hart, we're part of We Are Wisconsin in regard to the 7-Eleven. We all realize that the 7-Eleven is going to go into that location. When we met last night, a couple of us just had some concerns about the facade. That is sort of like people come into that area, that is welcome to Wisconsin. And we were just wondering if that some of the aesthetics to the building could comply with some of the buildings that they did in St. James on the 7-Elevens. We didn't just want to see a big box store go in there. If we can have some beautification of the location, that would really go a long way to accepting the fact that the 7-Eleven is going to be on that corner. If we can have some small signage or whatever, just because that's the first thing you see when you enter Wisconsin. So we would like to maybe have the facade improved a little bit, other than what appears like on the 7-Eleven down the road at Gibbs Pond and Smithown Boulevard.
Thank you very much. Peter, would you make a note of that, please? Thank you.
The answer to that, 2/3 of that building is remaining as is. So the facade's essentially what's there now, it's the bank. They're taking off one wing of that building and putting a smaller addition, but the hip roof, the brick facade, that's all staying with those things.
What about the signage?
We conditioned them this morning in the approval for a monument ground sign to match the ACE and CBS ground signs.
And that's what we want. We want to fit the culture in the area.
I live in Wisconsin too.
William Gore.
I'm waiting to hear from
So you want me to put you at the end?
Yeah, put me at the end, I might not even talk.
Okay. Maybe should that one can hope. That would be a shock. No. He's a good guy.
Meg Shutka, Hitherbrook Road, St. James. I'm here representing Eddie's Power Equipment on Lake Avenue, and I'm here to speak on the, Eddie's Power Equipment is located in the area of Lake Avenue of the Summer Nights. I'm just here to request that the town enforce the conditions of the Summer Nights permit as enumerated in their, approval. And basically, it's the condition that the road, Lake Avenue, not be closed prior to 6 p.m., and the other condition that the vendors be placed in the railroad parking lot, St. James Railroad parking lot, as a condition. I did want to thank Councilman Lohman for all the work that you've done along Lake Avenue, in that railroad parking lot, by the gazebo, not to disparage anybody else that lives in St. James on town council or whatever. But the work is really, really noticed there, and it's really good. And I also want to thank you and the members of the board that were at a meeting in March when you brought together the business people, or some of the business people, on Lake Avenue, north of the railroad tracks. I know not all of them could attend because of their work commitments, but you brought together the business people in that area, you brought together the civic, and you brought together the Chamber of Commerce. And out of that meeting came these conditions, and we really appreciate that because it does help the businesses. While we don't want to see the road close at 6, we'd rather it was 8. You know what? I think the businesses could work with that. I think I do seem to remember that we said the southbound traffic on Lake Avenue would be closed at 5, and I remember the businesses did not object to that, but they needed that northbound lane of Lake Avenue to remain open until 6, because that's the side that the businesses are on. So this way the people can get to those businesses. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amy Fortunata.
Amy Fortunato. I live at 16 Colonial Road right here in Smithtown. My concern has to do with the fundraiser on the 28th and also the gathering that took place here. I do know that I wasn't at the fundraiser, but I understand that there were words spoken about how the
Excuse me.
blockade.
Mrs. Fortunato, if you're here to speak about politics, that's not what we do in town hall here. We just don't. If you have an objective to some type of a political fundraiser, you need to take it up with those folks. This is about town business only.
Yeah, certainly not. It's about our safety, our town's safety.
Well, you're speaking about a fundraiser. I don't know what you're referring to, but if it's a political fundraiser,
You don't
it has
speak
no
about
place in this
inside
board.
town hall.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
skip to part about town hall.
It just had to do with the fact that there were barricades set up, and we felt that our peaceful gathering may have been was mocked, and our safety was not the top priority. There was
Okay,
some.
allow me to answer that. We spoke on the phone
Yeah.
about a week ago, and I explained to you that we set town hall up for the safety of anyone who was congregating here that night. We have irrigation systems, we have planters, we have park benches. We set the barricades up so no one would get injured, and that's to protect the taxpayers as well from lawsuits. And that's what we did. And to my knowledge, I was not here. They all assembled, they had a peaceful assembly, there were many, many people here on the concrete where it was safe, and that's what we did.
Right, so it's never been done before. There's never been barricades set up like that before.
That's not true.
I've never seen it.
That's not, we
Okay.
have
Okay.
cordoned off property on this for different demonstrations before as well.
That's good. Unfortunately, I understand that you said words that we might have been pushed into the
And
street.
again, I'm not gonna, listen, we've spoken on the phone.
Yes.
Your interpretation of what's written in local newspapers is your business. I explained that to you, and I'm not going to explain it again. All right? You misinterpreted, you have your interpretation, I have mine.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rebecca Abu Wali.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Rebecca Abawali. I live at 72 Nichols Road in Nesconset. I'm just picking up, I'm also a member of the We Are Nesconset group, and I'm picking up on what Peter Hansen said. I'd like to make the board aware of the fact that on November 16th, 2017, between noon and 1 p.m., AARP conducted a walk audit on the corner of Nichols Road and Smithtown Boulevard to determine the safety and walkability for pedestrians in the community. There were several safety issues that were identified and recommendations were made. They were that there were no pedestrian signals on the corners, and we recommended visual and audible signals be installed at the four corners. Walks were almost non-existent, so clear defined crosswalks are recommended to be installed. There are bus stops north and south on Nichols, north and south of the boulevard, with just a sign, and the audit recommended benches and shelters be installed for riders. And the town and the county has a copy of the audit that I emailed, but I have a copy here if you'd like it. And for some additional information as related to the safety of that corner, on April 16th, 2018, Smithtown Traffic and Safety Department conducted a study of north and southbound traffic on Nichols Road. It was 250 feet south of Margaret Avenue. That's south of the Ace Shopping Center. And the findings indicated that there were approximately 120,000 cars traveling north and south on Nichols Road weekly. On an average weekday, there were 17,595 cars traveling up and down the road. And on Saturdays, the number was similar. It was 17,459. Sundays, it was a little lighter, 14,483 cars. And if you look at rush hours, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., Saturday and Sunday from 12 to noon, there was an average of 7,595 cars traveling up and down the road. So I can go on and on with the numbers, but I just want to indicate that it just seems like far too many cars without any kind of pedestrian safety considerations at that corner where it's coming in. And also, Not sure if I'm going to have a lot of time, but included in these numbers are the oversized commercial vehicles that are being diverted down Nichols Road, which passes through the corners, and as a group, we're recommending that GPS routes be rerouted to exit 62 for the trucks that are coming from the going westbound, and 57 for the trucks traveling eastbound, and exclude any trucks making home deliveries such as heating fuel, UPS, et cetera. And we recommend that a truck exclusion sign be posted, and we feel that with the elimination of these oversized trucks, the four corners, it'll be a little safer
Thank
for
you
the
very much.
pedestrians.
You got a copy of that?
Yes.
Owen Jackson.
Yeah, my name's Owen Jackson. I live on Lancelot Court in St. James. I was here last month and I spoke about leaf disposal. And I brought up the argument that it helps the environment to not use plastic bags, and that I would like the town to come along with a vacuum cleaner, so to speak, and clean up the leaves that are raked out to the curb. And there's another thing besides the environment. My wife and I moved here 55 years ago, raised 7 kids, had a lot of help, but the leaves, raking and bagging were a lot. Unfortunately, my wife passed away 3 years ago, and I'm going to be 89 next week, and it's very hard for me to rake and bag those leaves. So you would be doing the elderly a favor, to say the least. And that is, I was wondering, in the past month since I brought up this topic, have you thought about it at all?
We have. We've had some discussions, Mr. Jackson, with our highway superintendent. We do not possess any type of equipment like that. We haven't done it.
No, you have to buy it.
Exactly. Exactly. So we're well aware of that. We will continue the talks and see if there's any way we can help you out.
Maybe you can get the scouts to help.
Yeah.
Sorry?
The scouts will help you.
Thank you. It's a good project for the scouts. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Patty Stoddard. Don't they do that?
Hi, everyone. I'm Patty Stoddard. I live at 400 Gibbs Pond Road, Nesconset. I just have a couple of questions from the, I guess this is from advertised for public hearing regarding peddling and soliciting and canvassers and how the time has changed to sundown. This does not include political canvassing, is that correct?
We would wait till the public hearings. Those are advertisements. Once we hear the public hearing, then you'll know everything that's in those public hearings at that time.
So when is that?
It's advertised.
It's on the agenda.
I think it's August 14th.
August 14th, I believe, is the next meeting. So those public hearings will be held then.
Alrighty. And also, going back to the 7-Eleven thing, I see that there was a negative secret determination. Was there ever another traffic study done?
Our traffic director, Mr. Crowley, reviewed all of the traffic studies that we had in our possession, and that was all part of the secret determination between that and our environmental review board. And as you've seen, that was a neg deck.
Okay, so these are old traffic studies.
No, these are not old traffic studies. These are recent ones.
Recent ones? How recent? Like very recent?
I don't know yet. Mr. Crowley.
No, the last, I guess, 2 months, 3 months.
They're current.
Traffic survey.
Okay, because I think that really isn't very accurate, because the traffic coming through now is going to be quite different and will affect us environmentally once that 7-Eleven is in. So I think that's something that really we should consider, before doing that. The other thing, and I had spoken to you about this once before, is the cluster subdivisions. I had questions about that. And So if we're changing, and I understand you could, builders could reduce the size of the properties for the homes if they included a green space. Will this change, will that allow developers to change the size of the properties without having a green space?
Change the size, Mr. Hans? No, I don't believe so. No.
No, the problem was we were getting some subdivisions that were maybe 2 acres in size, being split into 3 lots. And the cluster subdivision requirement was requiring that people cluster these subdivisions. And it was really counterproductive. It's still in place for the large subdivisions. So like country estates where there might be 80 lots, instead of having 80 homes on half-acre lots, you might put them on a quarter acre so that we can have green space around. So it still applies for large subdivisions. It just made no sense when you had one house on a half acre to have a green space in the middle of a subdivision.
All right, can I have another, minute?
Ms. Stoddard, if this is, as you know, we no longer have Q&A sessions here. For town-related matters, you give us your concerns. If you want to stay after the meeting and ask me any more questions, I'll be happy to stay.
Okay, because my time was taken up.
You
But that's
wanted
because
the
you're
answer.
asking questions.
Yeah, okay.
All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Maria LaMalfa.
Before you start my time, I would like to point out that online, Friends of Lisa Inzerillo,
Excuse me, ma'am. No, no.
she has political posts
Hold
on
on,
that
hold on.
with
Hold on,
contact
Miss-
information
We are
for
not
her
here, we
office,
do
elected
not
office.
discuss political situations in this boardroom. This is for the people's business. That's what we do here.
But this is a government official.
This is a government
page.
official who is using a campaign page
Then-
with contact information.
Okay, then you need
For
to,
here.
this is not the proper form. If you think there's
What
something
is,
being
what is
done
it?
wrong,
What
then
is
you.
the contact information?
It's here, Town Hall.
It's this address?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
this address
my
and this
number
email.
And it's,
Smithtown email.
I have to take a look at it. I have a few people running that page.
Mm-hmm.
it's right here.
I don't want to look on
Is
your
there, is there a
phone,
town
Patty.
matter
I
here
can
that
look at
you want
home.
to discuss?
Okay?
Yes,
Okay.
there is. And I have filed a FOIL request, but perhaps you know. In the 7 months that you've been supervisor, has there been any other event in front of Town Hall that was similarly cordoned off? The administration of the oath, Memorial Day?
Administration of the oath, there were sections that were blocked off.
Not like this.
Were there chairs there, or?
There were chairs there, yes.
Grass.
Okay, so on the grass, so really
You
the
know
grass
what?
wasn't blocked off?
I'm sorry, but.
Okay, can you tell me?
No, I'd ask you to please cooperate. If you have something of a town matter,
Mm-hmm.
I would ask you to present that we can help you with. If you want to talk about politics or you want to ask me political questions, I'll
No,
remain
these
here.
are town matters. Can you tell me what the cost was in taxpayer dollars for putting up these barricades and taking them down again?
The cost to put them up and take them down?
Yeah, I
It
mean,
was done by our Department of Parks while they were on duty.
right, but they could have been doing something else instead of this,
Well,
so it does cost
look,
us.
I don't,
It's,
again, with all due respect, these folks come
I-
here, we come here to do town
I
business,
think
not
you
politics.
use the elected office to put citizens in a dangerous position.
Okay, well, you can think that, you can make your statements all you want. If you have a town matter, I want to listen to you. Your time is almost up. If you don't, and you want to talk about some political event, again, I will reiterate, we're not here to do that. We're here to serve the public, and the public has legitimate questions. That's what we do here.
Okay, has the town board, has the town board come out with a statement supporting our 2 local journalists who were thrown out of that fundraiser? Are we in favor of the First
Again, you're
Amendment?
asking, excuse me,
That
ma'am,
has nothing
excuse
to
me.
do with us.
You're talking about a function held by Congressman Zeldin. Perhaps you should ask Congressman Zeldin's people that, not us. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Ambrose, do we have tapes of the quotes in that newspaper?
Ma'am, I don't know how much, Patty, please. I don't know how much clearer I can make it. We've changed things here to where this is about taking care of people's needs and what they need from us as a town government entity. Okay? There's no point in us sitting here. You could discuss this for the next 3 hours. I don't know, you're talking about a political event again, has nothing to do with this board.
Whoever's taking
Well, no,
pictures, that's
the
really
event in front of Town
hurting my
Hall,
eyes.
where people were cordoned off
They
and
weren't, they were
into
not,
the
again,
street.
I've already answered that
Excuse me,
question.
whoever's flashing, it like really is bothering my eyes.
They were not cordoned off. We did it for safety purposes, so that no one trips
Was
through
that
these
done
doors.
at Memorial Day also?
Memorial Day? I don't know what you mean at Memorial Day.
Parade.
Yes,
At
it
the
was. There were
parade.
barricades put out
David,
and the
David,
platforms were outside.
David.
Look, your time is up. Thank you
That
very
was
much.
funny, David?
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I want to thank the board for making the...
Go to the mic, please.
I want to, thank you.
Okay. Kristen Robinson.
Hello, my name's Kristen Robinson and I live on Floral Lane in St. James. I'm also here to talk about public safety. And I'm going to go ahead and read a quote. We put barricades all around it, so as we speak, I guess the Suffolk County Police Department is taking care of those folks because they're out in the middle of Jericho Turnpike. I'm talking about the barricades that you put up, unless you did it yourself. Did you put them up, the barricades? Did you
I have
erect
no
them?
idea what you're talking about.
The Unity Rally.
The Unity Rally, the barricades were put up by our Department of Parks, Buildings and Grounds.
Right.
Right? And we've answered all those questions, Mrs.
I'm
Robinson.
not done.
Okay, well, you,
So you didn't personally put them up, so somebody did, and it cost us tax dollars. Did you put them up to put citizens in jeopardy, their safety? To protect the flowers? I mean, I'm confused. I'm concerned that fellow citizens were put in danger because of
Excuse
your
me,
actions.
Ms. Robinson.
Yes.
I just want to be pretty clear with this.
Mhm.
The barricades were put up for two reasons.
Okay.
One, to protect town property.
Right.
Two, to protect those citizens that were going to be coming here. It was
But
not.
it's not to push them out into the
listen,
middle of Jericho Turnpike?
No, it was not.
Why is that said? My
Listen.
elected officials said that about my fellow citizens.
I don't
wasn't
know
even there.
what was said, what wasn't said, what periodical you read that in. I'm telling you.
So you're saying the
Who
Smithtown
said he
News
said it?
is
Maybe somebody in this
fake
room
news?
said that.
We're
How do you
losing-
know he said that?
Because he's quoted as saying it.
Whose paper?
The Smithown News.
Okay. I rest my case.
Listen, we've kind of gotten off focus what we're supposed to be talking about. As
This
someone that
is a-
spent my entire life in public safety, I personally would never condone something like that.
Do you
And
know
I'm-
how many people have gotten hit on
Listen,
Jericho
you know,
Turnpike?
I've lived 61 years here in this town.
Okay.
I'm very aware, a lot longer than you. I'm telling you, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, that was not
So
done.
my opinions don't matter because I'm younger
Tommy,
than
hold
you
on.
are.
Look,
I'm not
look,
saying it.
Tom,
You just said it.
if you have anything,
I'm not a
if
dum-dum.
you have any matters you want, a town matter that needs discussion, fine. If not,
Will barricades like this be put up for other events?
if it's required
If it's
to be done
needy.
for safety, yes.
Like for Memorial
Is your time
Day,
up?
for...
Yeah.
All right, your time is up, I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
No, that's it.
No other
That's it.
speakers.
I thank you all for attending our meeting. Hopefully, some of our issues were taken care of here today, and I move to close the meeting.
Supervisor Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarella?
Yep.
Councilman
Yes.
Lowe?